Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Custos Gaming T3 with an Overwatch commentary. Today is going to be primarily talking about a recent thing that I had done today on March 23rd. I got my first tattoo. I know for some people that's like, oh, you got a tattoo. Whatever, no one cares. But for me, I've always been the kind of person to not want to do something permanent to my body because, I'll do stuff that's temporary, like dyeing my hair or, get like a temporary tattoo like with Sharpie or with, the ones that you buy online, stuff like that. But I decided to go out of my comfort zone and get a tattoo. It's on my left arm, up on the shoulder to, if I'm wearing a t-shirt, no one knows it's there, but if I'm wearing a muscle shirt or if I have a sleeves rolled up, you'll see it. The reason I got it up there is just because in case I was to get a job that required me to not have any tattoos because it made it look unprofessional, that I could easily just wear a t-shirt, it'll be covered up, no big deal, I'll keep my job. The tattoo that I have, I'll post a picture of it right here on the screen for you guys to look at, a side-by-side comparison from the picture that I gave him to the actual tattoo on my body. I think the tattoo artist, he did a really fantastic job on it. I have a friend and my sister. They both have got tattoos from the same guy, and each time it is just really, really great. I love it. I love the tattoos on my friend. He's got like, I think, 5 or 6 on him, and they look really nice. And my sister, she got one on her wrist with a rose. She's going to get another one tomorrow or sometime later of it's saying "Saved by Grace." I don't remember exactly where, but I think it's gonna be like her forearm or something. But my tattoo, it's as you will see on the screen, it's the on the left side of it that looks like a fish kind of thing. It stands for it's the letter A for alpha, and then the little horseshoe type looking thing that stands for Omega. It's Alpha and Omega, which is another name for Jesus Christ or God, beginning and the end, and that's my favorite word for or my favorite phrase for God is Alpha and Omega, beginning and an end. There was nothing before him, and there won't be anything after him when he's done with everything. And the X and the P stands for I don't know if I still don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's Chicho. I think it's Cairo, but it might be Chiro. I still don't know the exact pronunciation of it, but nonetheless, the meaning of it stands for Christ. In I think it was Greek or Hebrew. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but it was Greek or Hebrew. It stands for Jesus Christ, and I never wanted to get just a tattoo. Was just something that, oh, I got a little flower on my arm, or oh, I got a little picture of someone from a TV show. I wanted to get something that meant something to me as a person, something of my own life, something that I personally really really liked, and I was not going to regret getting on me. Because the worst thing to do is to get a tattoo that you have a temporary love for, but next day it's like, oh, why did I get that? Because I see a lot of people on Instagram, they have tattoos from, the video game Destiny, which I mean, it's their body. They can do whatever they want to it. But I personally wouldn't get something like that unless it has some kind of emotional or physical change in my life. Like if that was able to do something special for my life, then obviously I would. But it hasn't, so I'm not going to do that kind of thing to my body. As far as I say right now, given I might change my mind. But today's video, like I said, it's just going to be commentary with me talking about that, about how it felt, what it was like, and it's going to have Overwatch gameplay of me playing as Moira in competitive on the map Numbani, if I'm not mistaken. I was going to say Hanamura, but I'm pretty sure it's Numbani. But anyway, it's going to have that gameplay in the background with me talking. But the experience of me getting my tattoo, it was he told me that he's gonna do like this kind of like a dry run, just like a test to see if it'll hurt or if I can take the pain. Which for me as a person, I'm pretty good at taking a certain amount of pain, because I have a pretty high pain tolerance. So whenever I'm in pain and I complain about it, it means that it's pretty bad pain for myself, and I don't like to complain to other people because I don't like to make other people feel uncomfortable or make them feel bad for me because I don't like people to have that kind of a situation. And so for me, the tattoo, he had put a little dry run to see if it hurt and stuff like that, and he had did it, and I was like, oh, it's not that bad. It's just a little pinch, constant, the analogy that I keep using is it's whenever he was doing it, and he would stop to like re-ink the pen, or to wipe off the excess ink or the whatever was coming out. Which I'm glad he said that I'm not a bleeder. Whenever he was doing it, I didn't bleed a single drop of blood out, and so I was happy about that. But whenever he would stop, take the pen off, and then re-dip it, and then use it again, it's kind of like the same feeling of your skin being like super tender from when you constantly are smacking your skin, or when someone else is smacking your skin. The first couple smacks, it's like, ow, that hurts a little bit, and then after like the fifth or sixth slap, it's like, okay, can you stop? That actually hurts now. And it's got red and stuff like that. That's exactly what it felt like for me. Was after a while, it was like, okay, this isn't that bad. But whenever he filled out the alpha and omega, then the X and the P, it was like, I mean, I was pretty good with the pain. I just sat there on my phone looking at memes on Instagram, taking deep breaths, trying my hardest not to bust out laughing at some of the memes that I had seen, because it's kind of like when when you're getting a haircut, you can't really fidget around too much, and so it was pretty hard for me not to, kind of like pop up and down with giggling from the memes that I had seen. But he said I didn't show any signs of not being able to take it. The tattoo, I think it lasted about 20 minutes to 30. It wasn't that long. I really enjoyed myself. He allowed my girlfriend Melissa to come back there, and she was able to watch. And I don't know if most people have this issue, but whenever they look at something and they're looking at it like super intently, they forget to breathe. And I know that people do that when it comes to like pain, because I know my brother, whenever I was younger, I had to get surgery on my face because I had a chunk of skin had fallen out from me hitting something. And so my brother was standing there watching me whenever the guy was sewing me up, and my brother had just fainted on the floor, passed out. And so my mom is like, what is going on? I've got one kid on the operating table, and I've got one kid on the floor, passed out. Doctor, what's going on? And we had figured out it was because he was watching it, and he just wasn't breathing like he should have. The one vital thing you have to do every couple of seconds in your life to survive. And that had happened later on. He was doing something, he had passed out again, and he kept forgetting to breathe. And so whenever I had to get, a procedure done on my foot, and he had to numb it up, it was like super painful. And I always remember just, keep breathing. Keep breathing. Don't forget to breathe, because if you forget to breathe, your brain's like, yep, shutdown time, and it just goes off. And so the entire time I was just taking slow, shallow breaths, and then every so often, whenever he'd re-ink the pen, I'd take a deep breath, and then, you'd go back at it. But all in all, it was a really good experience. I enjoyed myself. I got nothing but positive feedback for my tattoo. And then again, most people haven't seen it. My girlfriend's mom, she's completely against tattoos because she's a believer in the old Jewish law. You don't see me right now, but I'm putting the air quotes up. The old Jewish law in the Old Testament of the Bible, where it's like, you can't pierce the temple of God, as also known as your body. You can't put any piercings on there. You can't tattoo yourself. You can't do anything like that. And I had told her, I'm like, well, the same set of law that says you can't do that is the same set of laws that say you can't wear two types of clothing in one piece of clothing. Meaning you can't wear a T-shirt that has got like 60% cotton, 40% spandex, like a stretchy shirt. Same thing with pants. I'm pretty sure almost all of women's jeans have a little bit of spandex in them. And I tell her that, she's like, well, I still don't believe it. It's like, well, by your logic, you should believe it, because that's was that's what you're going off of, is the old Jewish law. And so if you're gonna go off of one rule, then you have to go off of all the rules. You can't pick and choose which ones fits your narrative. And she's super like against tattoo, like I said. And so she saw me. She goes, "I don't like it. I mean, I like the tattoo. It looks good and all, but I just don't like tattoos. Period. I just don't like needles." I was like, "Okay, well, it's not your body. You know, you don't have to deal with it. I'm the one living with it for the rest of my life, and my girlfriend's gonna be the one. You know, God willing, she'll be the one with me for the rest of my life. You know, and she loves my tattoo. She thinks it looks really nice. You know, and so I couldn't care less if someone doesn't like it. If someone likes it, sweet, it's great. If someone doesn't like it, well, sorry, feel that way, but sucks, you know? It's like, it's my body, I'll do what I want, you know, what I want with my body. And so, you know, I'm just going to leave it at that. The tattoo experience, all in all, great time. You know, the tattoo artist is really, really good. I have to remember to clean this thing every couple of hours, to put the wax on it to make sure it doesn't peel, you know, make sure to keep it clean so it doesn't get infected. But anyway, with that being said, I will talk to you guys later, and peace and